Hi guys, I'm Jen. Welcome to my channel. I want to make a video about some of the ways that I've learned how to be more frugal in my life. When I thought I didn't have money, I found there are ways to make my money stretch. So one of those things is I do have two small dogs. Now this may not work for you with the large dogs, but if you have two tiny dogs, it works for me. And I use one bag for their two little poos. And so I'm going to use my new Odd Bunch order. And we're going to pretend these are little poos, okay? So I'll pick up one poo like this, and I'll put it in, and I'll carry it until the second dog has a poo. Now, I am walking my dogs separately starting this week, but I just bring this, it's not heavy to carry around, so I just, when I bring the one dog back, I leave it on the porch, and then when I take the second dog out, I just pick it up and bring it with me again. So then, in order to pick up the next poo, I put the bag over my hand like this. Normally these poo, this is pretty heavy for a poo. But then I just put my hand, and you can see like this, the first poo is just sitting there. And then, oh, I don't know if you can see how I can pick this up. Anyways, I use this to now grab the second poo, and then now I got two in one. So a lot of my things also, it's not just saving money, but it's like you can do two birds, one stone. And that's kind of the mentality I use. I save one bag. I don't like using plastic if I don't have to. So that's also a benefit with that. It's not just like conserving my money. It's helping the environment. I really don't want to use poo bags, but I don't have the budget for the ones that break apart. And even the ones that break apart, I don't know that they fully break apart. Some of them are just bags that are made from reusable plastic. So I kind of got that confused. Now the second thing I have is I go to thrift stores, and I got this bag at our local thrift store. So what the thing is, I'm looking at potentially getting rid of my car, and so that would mean getting my groceries and things like that would require some format of carrying the groceries back. And so the bag I have is not, okay, so this is the bag I had, and I bought it from Amazon. Not a bad bag, right? It's got the little pocket, what I like. And it's got a lot of pockets. I like a lot of pockets. I like organization. I like tucking things in. It's got that. It's got like, I think for a water bottle, you can even put that in little side pockets. You know, it's handy. Oh, I've got my earbuds in here. It is handy. But when you're trying to carry, like I tried to put like milk cartons, you know, like nut milk and stuff, and it really, you run out of room fast. And not only that, but it doesn't have any sort of like support or anything or padding, right? And so I noticed when I put stuff in here, it hurts and I already have shoulder issues. And if you're already here watching this channel, you're already overburdened, exhausted, and you need easy, or easier. And so this is where I went to my local thrift store, and I got this bag. Okay, so this bag, and pretty much this one cost me, if I remember correctly, like $26. And usually I round down and go back up. So like this could have been $30 plus tax, right, on Amazon. Not a bad bag for what you want to use it for, right? Like it's lightweight. So when you have like a time where you just want to go out and you don't need that much, that can be great. But this one, look at this one. It's got a hard case for my sunglasses. So I can use this not for just grocery shopping and stuffing it full, but I can also use it on day trips. Which I'm going to be hiking there, and you know, I have a local conservation area that's within walking distance, and I also have a bike that I still need to work on. But yeah, so this has this section here, which is pretty large, and then it also has like this section, which is actually meant for a laptop, which is kind of cool, that it's got this protective area in here, and then it's got, of course, like a ton of little you know, pockets. Like it's got a ton of pockets. I love pockets. You know, you can put stuff in there. So not only can I use this for my grocery shopping, there's a place to put my phone. Oh, what is in there? A receipt. I've already used this. So I can put my phone in there. You know, it's protective. And what I also like about this one is, so now I can use this for my grocery shopping, but I can also use it for my hikes because I'm trying to walk more. And then on the back, like look at this padding here. These are padded more than the other ones. Like it's way more stiffer and solid. And then it's got like this that leans at the bottom of your back and your butt. And so, and there's even like, there's still more like little places to keep things, your keys. And it's just really, it's structurally sound. You know why it's structurally sound? It's even got clips. Look, you can clip yourself in like a little seat belt. And why this is such high quality is because when I Googled this online, the, what is it called? Ogio. This is, if I wanted to buy this online, it would be $143 plus tax and probably shipping, right? I found this at a thrift store. That's abundance, baby. And you know what? I paid $18 plus probably tax for this. It's barely used. Somebody just maybe decided like it's no longer of use to me, but I found it. And so when you learn to look for things of quality, like I can tell the difference between both bags, right? One is very structured sound. And so part of my, sometimes you have issues that happen in life where you're like, I don't have a lot of money to buy this. And so as a single parent struggling, like I had to learn how to look for higher quality items and things that would be more structurally sound. And I think like the more I do that, the better I get. Now, some of the things I have to watch for in the thrift stores is when I buy pants, they can be stretched out in the belly area. So I have to watch that. And I also get better at like, I never used to want to try on, I hate trying on clothes, especially if I'm feeling bloated and not, great. But I learned I have to start trying on clothes or else I'm just making a donation to the thrift store, which is not necessarily negative, but when you're running low on money, you're not in a position to be donating. But so what else? Check the zippers, look for holes around the armpits, and even shirts that are tighter, like you still have to look, because the last person that wore it, maybe they got rid of it because they wore it when they were pregnant, or when they wore it when they were at a larger size. And so just because it says your size doesn't mean it is your size. And so trying it on really does help eliminate buying things that you don't need. And then also I can be really good at looking at items for when my kids were kids, and I was really good at picking out their clothes for them without them being there. But there are times when like I'm very specific, like I don't like feeling like a clown. I don't like feeling frumpy. And especially when you're always struggling through life, you want to have those items that, like these are joggers that I have on. And I bought these from the thrift store in St. Thomas, and they had side pockets that I don't like because I'm only 5'4", so I feel like that kind of cuts me off. And so I just have a seam ripper and I removed the pockets, and these are one of my favorite pairs of pants. They're loose, they're comfy. I compare them with, they have lots of feathers, that's just for my coach right now. And I compare it with a lot of stuff, and when I wear these pants, I feel good because I feel like they look good on me, in my opinion. That's all that matters, right? And so yeah, take a look at some things, like get good with also trying to alter things. If like sometimes like some pants, like look at if there's an item that you don't like, you can remove the patch. Sometimes you can't remove the patch, and that's a learning curve. Like sometimes it doesn't work, but maybe you could put a patch over it. I'm trying to think of other items that I buy. Okay, also be aware. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, you can't see, but I have chairs that I'm trying to get rid of and sell because they're beautiful chairs, but they're oversized for my space. And so as you get good at this, you're gonna recognize, like before you could be a little bit more impulsive because you just need that item. But when you slow yourself down and really think more about the item, like I need this item, I need that item right now, but there are times when you kind of settle in that area too. And so just make sure, take the time. I don't like shopping in front of people. That's something I don't enjoy. I don't like shopping. I feel like pressure for whatever reason. And so sometimes I rush and I just want to get the item and get out. So I have to stop myself and actually like look at the item. Because I think sometimes I definitely have some insecurities around like when it felt like we didn't have a lot of money. And moments as a single parent when you put the card to the grocery thing and declined. And so I have a lot of humiliation and shame around money and items. And so when I would be in these stores, I wanted to make it seem like I know what I'm doing, and I would just go in and get the item and walk out. But in reality, I don't. And I wish I would have like stopped and like looked and thought about. So like these chairs, I bought them. Actually, maybe I will bring you and show you. My living room is a mess right now because I'm trying to move out furniture that I no longer need. So I've got some items that I'm giving to my kids here. I've got the cards that I'm looking to somehow sell, and I just don't need them like I did before, and they're just taking up space. And then I got these chairs. I don't know if I can't see the camera, but okay, so you see these chairs? They're really big. I love the seat, but they have screws in them that come up, which is fine because I can just put shorter screws. That's not the issue. These things, if you can see how big they are at the bottom, like it's such a, I don't know what angle we're getting here. Yeah, you can see like the feet are huge and wide, and I wouldn't normally mind that if it was in the comfier version of chair that I want. like if it was a smaller version of this chair, and it fit under my dining table, that would be different. If it had cozier arms on it and things like that, and it was cushiony and it was upholstered in a way that I could sink into it, that larger base wouldn't be so bad, but it makes it really hard to fit under my table here. And these are the original chairs I had until I came across those other chairs when I was coming across my couch. Okay, so these chairs I love because they are small and they make my dining area seem larger. But when I bring those large chairs into this area, now it makes my area seem so much smaller, and it makes it hard to clean around and move around. So be aware of the space that, like, once I decided I'm finally staying here, this is my home, I realized I have a lot of too much furniture that I'm not really needing, but I also have too big of furniture, right? So I do like to have my dining table out with a leaf in it because I do use it to put stuff, but I do like to, I don't know what it is, I just like to have a big open space. It's nice, but then there's times when I want to take the leaf out and have like a little cafe style table. So I like those options for whatever reason. I'm a girl that moves furniture around often. It is what it is. And so yeah, some of those things, like if you can try to like pause yourself when you are buying your item, if you are that impulsive person, it's really going to save you money because you're going to get the item that you actually really want and need. And there are times with the two birds, one stone mentality is like sometimes something is going to be nice and it's going to work well for other reasons, right? Like, so like if I can find a chair that can fit under my table that is upholstered, now it's easy to clean my space, but then I also got my, you know, loungy Sunday brunch setup where I want to have those chairs that you can sink into. And so that's what now I know what I want because I had what I don't want. Those chairs are too big, these chairs are too small. I'm looking for my middle bowl of porridge, which is those chairs that I can sit into, but also are wipeable because I want them to be easy to clean, right? I want them to have a material that's durable, wipeable, easy to clean, aesthetically pleasing, and that can move under my table. So in order to buy that, I don't have money right now, but when I do, I want to know like the height of my table. To make sure I don't buy something that, you know what I mean? And I want to sit in the chair, like really sit in the chair. And if I want to sit in that chair cross-legged, I'm gonna have to do that. Now, some of these things, I never had the security to do them when I'm in those stores because I would feel so self-conscious like doing those things. And so the more you work and heal on yourself and you start to care less about other people, then it's almost like you give yourself permission to do that. It's kind of like giving yourself permission to ask the hard questions, knowing that if how that person handles those hard conversations, it's going to really tell you, is this person for me or not? And so it's not only like learning to advocate and speak up for yourself, one stone, but also recognizing who you are giving time and attention to who don't deserve it, two stones. And so I apply this mentality in a lot of areas of my life. And there's things like, okay, so for my nutrition right now, I've had to bring it back down to like hamburger meat, coleslaw that I made, or sorry, sauerkraut. I get those mixed up. Sauerkraut that I made, and then I'm gonna have some eggs. So I'm working on going keto for a bit because in the keto, what is helping me is I thought I could drink milk because it was A2 milk. I thought it might be different. Maybe I could process the proteins different. I was wrong because there's still sugar in that lactose. And so I had binged. Honestly, I just wanted to sit there and drink milk. I think my body's lacking calcium. And it's also, I was in pain, so I wanted the comfort of the dairy. And then I also just, like, the consistency of the dairy is so soothing to me. And so, like, I just wanted what I wanted when I wanted it. And I thought it would work this time because it was a different type of milk. See what I did? Sometimes we convince ourselves we're doing something different, and it's really just the same. And so in reality, I had to learn how to revise my exercise so I wouldn't be in pain, and I didn't need comfort, and I didn't need to be self-soothed. And so what I'm trying to do now is coming out of that period and just attaching the word period to that when I drank that milk and I had that sugar and that dairy, it brought on my period earlier. And so I had a 2-part period. I had one period where I didn't have any sort of clotting. And if you're a man, you know what? Grow up. It's okay. You can talk about a woman's body. And in the second part, I had like my real period. And so like I had spotting in between. And so when I have these different sort of things that affect my hormones, insulin, not just my, these things can affect your other hormones. you know, and so I retained a lot of water in my chest. And I also think when I retain fluids and things, it also puts pressure where I have regular neck pain and strain from the work outside. So what I did then was, not only am I eating healthier to help bring my body back into like take a break. So I'm going keto, where I'm just literally eating hamburger meat, sauerkraut, and eggs for about a week, give or take, and I'll see from there. I'm also gonna like give my body a break, but I'm also gonna remove all that extra liquid, because that's what happens when you go on keto, right? You remove a lot of the excess fluids in your body. So that's gonna help with some of my inflammation, I think. Remember, I'm not a doctor. These are just conclusions I come to between me and Google. So, and experience of patterns. So I'm already starting to feel better. I'm not there yet. My digestion is not there. I don't expect, like, that's going to take a while to get my gut where it needs to be. But I am feeling better. You know, I am feeling better. And the inflammation is subsiding. I had to move a piece of furniture upstairs. I'll show you guys later when I do the house tour what I did there. So I still have to be careful not to use this shoulder, because I'm trying to stretch it, and I have decided to do a chiropractor appointment. I don't want to spend money on that on my credit card, but at the same time, this rib is driving me nuts, where I've been trying to do the stretches and things, and it's just a matter of like, it's going to take longer than anticipated, and I could use some assistance, because I never asked for help. Sometimes I need to get some help while I still do stretches and take it easy, right? It's a team effort, and two birds, one stone, not just me. Learning to ask for help, recovering my health. And so, yeah, and so like while I eat the hamburger and the sauerkraut and the eggs and go keto, not only, like I said, it's going to help the water that I'm withholding from my hormonal imbalance period, but it's also going to help me to start to lose some of the weight as well. And it's not something I want to do for a long time, but I also think I do need to do it long enough to where I can create a consistent pattern in my behavior, which is, before I can reintroduce items that have sugar in them, I need to be working my muscles out on a regular daily basis. And that's how, and I also need to be getting my gut health intact. So those are things I'm working on, two things at once, that are then also going to help me get in shape. So that's another two birds, one stone. So when you learn how to do some of these things without taking on too many responsibilities at once, that's something you got to be aware of. It really does help. Like, and more when I get more strong, now I have all those clothes that I haven't been able to fit into that I used to, and then now I don't have to buy new stuff, and it saves my money. So like, and it's not just about fitting into clothes and feeling good. It's about, this is benefiting my health as well. Retaining too much water in your body is not a healthy sign, right? And having inflammation is not helpful either. So sometimes it is because of our actions, but sometimes it's also because our body is out of alignment, I feel. So these are things and ways that I learned to try to moderate. And like I said, like you can see my mistakes over there. There's I've got 4 of those chairs in my house. I just was able to find 2 other places to put them. One I'm using as a computer chair, but ideally I would like a computer chair, not an oversized upholstered chair. And the other one is in my room where I put my clothes on, and it does work well there, but ideally I'd like to sell the set of 4. I might attempt that this weekend, because I think we have something going on in town. So yeah, and like I think that's all I got. I'm trying to think, 2 birds, one stone, what else? When you do get rid of people that are no longer for you, you conserve your energy, right? And here's the thing too, when you do 2 birds, one stone with people, when you clear out one person, chances are they're going to take out their whole crew around you. If you're watching, because the thing is, like, if they don't like you, they don't want anyone else to like you. And if they can get people to follow them away from you, that really shows you who is for you and who is not, and who is a follower and willing to believe anybody without coming to talk to you about your side of the story. And so that just tells me who they are and who they aren't. And that saves me. That saved me a lot of time. Because now I'm like, you know what, I used to just give to anybody and everybody without really thinking about it. And then I realized a lot of these people I was giving to are really the ones that will back down to the bully. And I don't rock with that. I don't tolerate bullying. So I'm not gonna, if you're on the fence, if you even think you're on the fence of the bully, you need to take the side of the bully. You know, I work better by myself instead of people that are wishy-washy and, you know, the idea is like, I got your back if you got my back. If you don't got my back, I'm not gonna have yours. That's not equal and fair. So yeah, hopefully, I'm trying to think of other ways that I've learned how to manage my money better that has helped me. But this is all I got for now, so hopefully that helps. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.